Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School. I'm going to talk to you about character diamonds. This is a real nerdy thing in our marketing school, but I think it's something that might actually be really helpful for you, even if you're not in the whiskey industry, or if you're anything that you're trying to build. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have a company, if you manage a department, literally anything. This is something that we've learned to help design business strategy and business communications, and it works really well for mission statement, strategy statement, and understanding who you are. So, back in the day, one of our instructors' name was David Freeman. He hasn't been here in a while, but he created this thing called character diamonds, and he used it. He used to teach, he probably still does, teach like really high-level workshops for script writers, Hollywood script writers for TV and film. And it was a workshop on how to create characters, how to create interesting characters. And he created this system called character diamonds that you fill out this, and think of it like a compass rose, North Star, South Star, East Star, West Star, right? Not like a baseball diamond, but just diamond shaped like this. And I'm going to explain to you what it is, but it gives you a voice and helps you create really interesting characters. So he taught it here, and then Roy, the founder of our school, went, you know what? This would work equally well as a way to create a company's brand identity so that everybody in every part of the brand understood the culture of the brand and always knew when they were on voice or off voice for the brand. I'm going to tell you how we do it, how you do it, and I'm going to tell you what the Whiskey Marketing School's brand character diamond is. And it'll help make sense. This is what drives us. So, when you're building a character diamond, oh, it smells so good. You have the North Star. The North Star is your core value, and it's external. Even people who don't know you, looking from the outside, can tell you this is the thing that is most important to you. The South Star is a thing that has to be a surprising contrast with the North Star, right? So it's another one of your attributes, core attributes, identity markers, but it has to be surprising when the North Star is stated. Like, these things don't make sense. They're very surprising and interesting, and that's how you create interesting characters, right? Think Pixar. We always talk about it at the school. Pixar does this brilliantly. Think about a mouse that is a gourmet chef. Think about monsters that are afraid of children. Think about a teddy bear that's actually evil. Think about a machine that is full of emotion. That's WALL-E, right? They're just these brilliantly, instantly engaging ideas. Then your East Star is your core internal driver. This is what fuels you, what drives you inside. And this you don't normally talk about to the general public, but they'll see it in symptoms, right? They'll see it in how you act and what you say and what you believe. So for example, if I'm saying, a core driver for somebody is they were really honest, you don't tell somebody, you know how you know I'm honest? Because I tell you, I'm real honest. That's not how honest people act. What you say is something only an honest person would say. And then the listener goes, dang, they're honest, right? So when you're talking East and West, these are internal, and you'll see symptoms of them, but you don't often talk about them. Then the West, the most important part, I feel like, really. It's the thing that makes or breaks a character diamond, and that is that you have to have a true flaw, a true weakness, a shadow side, something that we're fighting against even within ourselves, right? Because without that, you're not human. If you only have strengths, you're not human, right? And this is like when you go on a job interview, and they're like, what's your weakness? And they're like, I work too hard. Like, that's what people always want to put over there is a strength disguised as a weakness. Bullshit. It has to be a real weakness, right? If you can do that and create it for your brand, figure out who are we and what are we trying to do, right? What is the surprising thing about us, given that that's our goal? What is our core internal driver? And then what is our flaw, right? For example, we did one for Ronald McDonald House. North Star was broken-hearted empathy. This is what drives them, right? This is that they're just there to take care of people, broken-hearted, at taking care of people who are really having the worst moment of their entire life. And if you don't know what Ronald McDonald House is, go look it up. The surprising thing is they're fun and happy and trying to keep everybody excited and give them a chance that for one moment to forget. Their internal core driver is that they care, and that's why they're willing to do all of this, and their weakness is that they're broke. They're always in financial need. Does that make sense? So I'm going to tell you the whiskey one in a second. I'll give you a couple other examples, but let's talk Redbreast Lustau. This is, as in Lustau Sherry, this specific bottle is a gift from Eric Waite, and when he was teaching the whiskey and sherry class. And I just realized we hadn't done this one in a while, and I kind of wanted to. So here we are. Middleton Distillery. This is 9 to 12-year-old Redbreast, so it's at least as old as the Redbreast 12. Oldest as the Redbreast 12. 9 to 12. But it's finished for an additional year specifically in first fill Oloroso sherry butts, which means the first spirit that's been put into it since the sherry was dumped out. And it's coming from the Bodega Lustau in Juarez, Spain. And it is just a densely coated syrupy fruit compote over dough, some sort of pastry. It's buttercream, it's jammy. Ooh. Come on. The one thing that I always think about this one is it does drink really almonds and sherry and a little bit of wax, a little bit of almost walnutty wax, and then it sort of glistens out into soft sweetness and cream. It never lasts as long as I want it to. It's so good, but I always take a sip and it gives up like just before I'm ready for it to give up. I always want that finish to be just a little bit longer, but the nose is magnificent. It's one of the great sherried Irish whiskeys ever made. Redbreast, just period. But this Lustau, if you like that, because the classic Redbreast is sort of a blend of their bourbon and sherry casks. If you really like the sherry notes in Redbreast 12, this one goes all in on those notes and then ramps them up. So good. Okay, another character diamond that we had. What was another one that was really good? I can't remember right now. My mind's going blank. There was one okay. So once you have a character diamond, what you've created is a caricature of your company. And a caricature is you, but it's not the super specific, exactly perfect everything about you. And that's what happens with people who try to write their mission statement. They want to capture every little special nuance of the whole freaking company, but that's not. So if you go to a beach and you get a caricature drawn, and you look at it and you go like, that doesn't look like me, and everyone around you is like, it totally looks like you. And so if you hold up a caricature next to a photo of you, this is what the character diamond is to your company. It's a caricatured version that represents all of the most important markers of you, right? So you don't expect it to be identical to who you are. It's just a representative. Now, once you've finished this, because it's representative and because it's a caricature, if you've done it right, you will find that it is replicated in fiction, historical characters, mythology. You'll find this shape in other places. Once you've done that, you now have a voice. And so like at one of our whiskey school, one of the original character diamonds the Bonafide program character diamond, I won't tell you what it is, but the voice is Jack Sparrow, because it turns out that we accidentally wrote the voice of Jack Sparrow into a whiskey program. So the online Bonafide Whiskey Enthusiast program, the voice that we realized is done it's Jack Sparrow. And the reason is because the sentence that is threaded through this entire online course is this the worst online course I've ever had, or is this the best online course I've ever had? And everything reminds you of that moment where we're not taking ourselves that seriously, but also you're kind of learning a lot of right? And remember that first movie when the one guy is separated by like 3 minutes, one guy says, that must be the worst pirate I've ever seen. And then like 3 minutes later, another guy walks up and says, that must be the best pirate I've ever seen. That's sort of the definition of the Bonafide Whiskey Enthusiast program. And we thought it was hilarious, so we kept it. What it does for your company is it allows everybody in your company, from salespeople to product development to the billing department to the customer service staff on the front lines, to all speak with the same attitude, the same soul, and also to make decisions. Because anytime they're about to make a call with a customer, all they have to remember is which decision is most consistent with our brand character diamond and who we are. And then they make the call. We use this for a staff at the visitor center. It has made them almost flawless at making executive decisions without having to check with their managers because they know who we are and what we believe. It's really helpful, and it's brought everyone together. So we wrote one for the Whiskey Marketing School, and I'm going to read it to you because I don't have it memorized and I don't want to mess up some of the language. I set it down here. Hang on a second. So our North Star is that we want to be compass bearers of whiskey education. Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School exist to hand people fire hard-won knowledge, creative frameworks, and marketing insights that they can actually use, right? Super knowledgeable, practical whiskey application, nerdy, marketing, everything. Now, the surprising South Pole is that despite that seriousness of that statement and that mission, we don't really take ourselves that seriously, and we're not credential obsessed. We're playful, irreverent, weird traditions. Even though we have this giant tower, we're kind of knuckleheads and goofballs. And my favorite line was, people see the tower and they expect ivy-covered seriousness, but instead they get a pirate ship of thinkers who actually run an incredibly tight and powerful whiskey program. The internal core driver, why do we give a shit inside, what drives us, is we are a champion of the outsider misfit, the uncredentialed genius. That's what we care about. Our whole ethos is built on helping outsiders gain language, tools, and confidence to compete with establishments. We thrive on mentoring people who don't feel at home in traditional academia or on corporate ladders. That's our people, right? Now, the weakness and the flaw is that we sometimes have too much contempt for the establishment when it would benefit us to connect with them, understand them, and embrace them. And that's just, there's too much like, nah, bullshit, I'm done, I'm over it. Which is a real weakness, right? Now, if you look at that character diamond and you look at what the voice is, it's two that I came up with that I'm like, oh my God, this is who we are, this is our identity. The first one is, we're Prometheus. Go study mythology. We're Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods and making it available to man. If you want a little bit more playful version, we are Robin Williams in the Dead Poets Society. Now, this is maybe the only time that I'll ever do something like this. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to tell you about a class that if you like this, you need to take. And it's an online course, and it's one afternoon in person, and by in person I mean in Zoom, not an online program, just videos. A Zoom call with me, December 17th, I think, and the link is going to be down below. I am doing a 4-hour, 5-hour Zoom workshop to help people design the character diamond for their brand and walk away ready to implement it. And I'm going to teach you really at depth how to do this whole thing. If that is interesting to you, then come join me on Zoom. I don't remember what we're charging for it. It's super cheap. It's like $500 or something like that. And if you're an alumni, then you can get half off of that pricing. But I hope this was helpful to you. Ah, it smells so good. Chocolate raisin now. Cheers to you. Just a reminder, Dry Week is coming up, November 14th through the 21st. It starts Friday 14th at noon, ends Friday 21st at noon. Dry Week is for us to check in, take a break from alcohol for a week, make sure we're all good, reset palates, just take a breather, and a little minor self-reassessment. This is something you always want to be careful with, alcohol consumption. And so it's good to be conscious and do it purposefully and not as a background activity. The schedule for Dry Week is always weird. It always interferes. It's never the right time. This time it's the week before Thanksgiving for all the American humans. And that's fine, at least Thanksgiving, not Dry Week. But it is voluntary, and you can switch the schedule. I am not going to be doing it on the same dates that you are because I have whiskey level 1 during that time, the week before Thanksgiving. So I can't. So I'm having to move my Dry Week up to actually next week. And so I will have already done it by the time you see these videos. But it's voluntary. We will not be releasing episodes during that week, and we will see you again on, what is it, 21, 22, 23, 24, on the 25th, I guess, the week of Thanksgiving. Cheers. I'm really glad you're here. All right, if you would like to join us as we steal fire from the gods and hand it to us common folk, like and subscribe.